This here is my bed. For those of you who have ever wondered what that little spot in my other videos was, this is my bed. This is where all the magic happens. I'm choosing to open this video with that because I really don't know how to open this video. There's just so much failure circling my mind right now. I've just witnessed one of the greatest musical abominations to ever strike mankind. Um, and I don't make music videos all that often. I know I've talked about Ronnie Radke and all of the stupid fanboys indefatigably defending him no matter what he does. Talked about how much Green Day's Uno album sucked. I've talked about how much Nickelback sucked, how much I liked Green Day before the whole trilogy. So I've made a few, but I don't talk about music all that much. And I don't review music. I mean, if somebody asks me what my opinion on an album is, I'll give it to them, but I don't get that deeply into the shit. It's as simple as this for me. Sounds good. Cool. Sounds like shit. Whatever. I don't get too deeply into it. Like, that's why I don't watch a lot of reviewers or really any reviewers at all, because I don't need that intricate of a but whatever. Okay. You get the idea. There's a link, by the way, in the description to the thing I'm talking about. If you wish to endure the musical equivalent of a colonoscopy, you can watch the entire playlist. But it's called Punk Goes 90s. Yeah, it's called Punk Goes 90s, and they did the same thing with something called Punk Goes Pop. And that album was especially noteworthy to me because I had no clue that a lot of these songs could get any worse. A lot of these pop songs that these punk bands, and there I go, punk bands, I didn't think that they could get any worse. I thought the songs were at their nadir just by existing, but job well done, punk bands. And then we got the whole Punk Goes. Okay, right off the bat, you're lying to the consumer when you market these fucking cow pies. You're lying to the consumer by saying this is punk. For example, one of the songs, if I may, yeah, it's Interstate Love Song. It's Stone Temple Pilot song, one of the best songs to ever grace mankind, being covered by Memphis May Fire. Memphis May Fire is not punk. They're not even in the same zip code as punk. I would allow Blink 182 to be called punk before these douchebags, okay? They are metalcore, and by and large, most of the bands on this album are fucking metalcore. And what a fucking job they did, especially on this song. One of my favorite songs of all time by one of my favorite bands of all time. So, you know I'm going to be a little bit more biased than usual. You know I'm going to be a little bit more hard and critical than I would be on another song. But even if I absolutely hated Interstate Love Song and I put these two against each other, oh my god. Well, let's start with the overproduction of everything. I mean, that's one of the big reasons I fucking abhor, absolutely despise metalcore. The way that they overproduce the shit out of everything. The triggers on the drums, the completely disingenuous sound of everything, and the whiny fucking vocals. Like this guy, I don't know what the fuck this guy's name is, but it sounded like somebody was stepping on his toes with steel-toed boots the entire time. It's just, ugh, fucking grating in my head. And they took this beautiful, beautiful song and covered it in a pile of turd. And they did it with every fucking song. The only cover that I really like that sounded okay, and I hate asking Alexandria, another band that is not punk, they did an okay job with Closer by Nine Inch Nails. But this entire album, just like Punk Goes Pop, and Punk Goes Pop is definitely worse than this, but then again, it's just like comparing a fart to a turd. A smelling contest between a fart and a turd. You know, both of them smell. One just smells a little bit more. I don't understand what they're doing here. This stuff is patently absurd. To call it punk. And I guess this video is more about my disdain for them throwing around the word punk. I like punk music. I have a place in my heart for real punk music. Bad Religion, Black Flag. I like some Black Flag. Dead Kennedys, Agent Orange, Descendants, Vandals, bands like that, Bad Brains. I like punk. And when I hear all these bands being called punk today, it chaps my ass. It chaps my fucking ass red. Because it's like, if you think punk is dead, don't try to revive it with this. Okay? People say punk is dead. And then I hear some bands say, we're bringing punk back. This album ain't bringing punk back, okay? This album, or any of these albums that have that have the prefix punk, they're not bringing punk back. They're digging a deeper fucking hole for punk. If punk is 6 feet under, and it's not, by the way, Bad Religion is still out there, and they've been around for like 32 fucking years, and they're still making kick-ass albums. Imagine that. So is NoFX. It's just fucking silly. Go ahead and listen to it. There's gonna be people out there that say, "Oh, you can't genre this and genre that." Kiss my ass. Yes, I can, because this is an abomination. This is absolutely egregious to say that this is punk, or to even more people will say, "Well, it's not actual punk. They're just using punk as a label." Oh, so punk has been reduced to a label, something that used to be a culture, a way of life, a genre of music, a way to bond, has now been reduced to a petty label to be used by shitty fucking metalcore bands. Great. I can't wait to see what's next.